Hi friends, how are you? So after watching my video back from Monday, I realized that I sounded so incoherent and rambly when talking about my relationship. And it sounded like I was just not into it, which is not true. I am. So I'm going to try again to talk a little bit about this boy and this relationship that we're in and how, whatever. So obviously, a lot of it stems from, a lot of my insecurity stems from my own baggage. So I know I make reference to the fact that I was married. I am now happily divorced. And I'm not going to say anything negative about the person I was married to. Number one, I'm aware that he watches these videos. So hello. And number two, there's not really a point. I mean, what's done is done. And so there's no point in me bad-mouthing him or bad-mouthing the fact that we were married or, that doesn't serve me or him in any way. So, but I did get a divorce, and for many reasons, but primarily, the person that I was married to and I, we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of like core values and things that, are important to get along with, which in the beginning is fine, because if you are disagreeing with somebody, there's this passion and spark, that a lot of times like just erupts into an argument, and that can be a very exciting way to be in a relationship with someone, but I don't think that it is sustainable long term. So it's not the healthiest way to be with somebody, where you're constantly butting heads about all kinds of stuff. So that ended. And since then, the divorce was finalized in 2011. And since then, I have not had a real serious, committed one-on-one relationship with anybody. I've had arrangements with folks, and I've had a relationship with Tinder, which shames my mama, I apologize, and a couple of other, but nothing where anybody would want to tell anybody else, like, hey, here's my girl, this is the end for me, which for various reasons, I have commitment issues, and I, post-divorce, I kind of decided that I would take advantage of the fact that I didn't really go out and enjoy too much of my 20s, so when I turned 30, I kind of like went a bit wild, so for various reasons, I just haven't had that relationship, but now I do. And there are a lot of other complex issues. I have the small, and there are his mobility situation. So there's a lot going on. It's not as simple as it could be. But I wanted to say just a couple of things about kind of how we got to know one another, why I decided, oh, okay, I'm ready now to be in a relationship. Not only that, but number two, I'm going to be in a relationship with this person. So number one, we have known each other since we were kids. He's from the same town that I'm from. We went to the same high school. We didn't go to the same grade school, but we did go to the same church. And so I knew who he was. He was actually one of my older brother's good friends. So, the dorky sister kind of likes the big brother's friends. Anyway, I always thought he was cute growing up, but I was so boy crazy over a particular boy. Anyway, that's another story, my childhood love. But anyway, so I noticed recently that we're friends on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram. I think those are, whatever. And so I noticed that he was liking all of my Instagram selfies, which, can you blame him? Check out my Instagram, it is spectacular. And also liking my Facebook pages. Now here's the thing, do not double like. The only time I double like is if it's a picture of my niece and nephew. Because for whatever reason, like, Facebook gets kind of competitive with the family and people start talking, oh, you didn't comment on that picture of the baby. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just saw the baby, like I was there when that picture was taken. So anyway, I was noting, but if you do it on, just a person, it's a little weird. So I was noting that this was going on. I remember I brought it up to my coworker, who was like, dude, you gotta call him out on that. So I did. I was kind of like, what's going on there? Let me just say something and see, like, do you ever intend to talk to me, or are you just gonna be a creepy stalker? And so we started talking almost every day since then, and we started hanging out, and it was kind of like, oh, okay, like, you're awesome. This is a thing. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. And since then I'm like, okay, even though there are like my own insecurities and whatever, you know, and I'm always 50 steps ahead of where I need to be, or I'm like trying to sabotage the situation, it's going fine. Like, some of the things that I truly enjoy about this person is it is super clear that he just adores me, which is nice, but it's also a little bit concerning. Well, no, I don't know if I want to say concerning. One of the sort of trying to think of a way to say it that makes the most sense. So you can't be responsible for another person's happiness. And I learned that through the process of my divorce. You know, the person that I was married to would often say like, oh, you make me so mad, like I'm unhappy because of you, which is just not true. You can't make somebody unhappy and you can't make somebody happy. You can't be responsible for that. And so I think that the person that I'm with now, well, he adores me. I'm not the only reason that he's happy. And that was something that I was super clear on. I'm like, I can't take on another person's emotional well-being. Like, I have me and I have the small. You know, I can help contribute to your happiness, but I cannot take that on as my own. And so that's good. It's also super nice to be with somebody that just supports my way of thinking and my decisions, and it's nice. Ooh, my phone is ringing. Anyway, so that's nice. Other things I like he's just genuinely a very caring and considerate person, which is very nice. It's new for me to be in a relationship that is really based more around getting to know one another. You know, like, I think I've mentioned it before, like, I am like, as my coworker would say, down to clown, which I think is a dumb way of putting it, but it's new for me to have a relationship that is starting out like with an emotional connection and not a physical one. You know, like normally it's like, oh, because it is very rarely are you going to fall in love and be in a relationship with somebody that you just instantly, you know, that you just boned. You know, like that person that you met at the bar, you took him home, probably isn't your be all and end all. Unless maybe you're my older brother. Oops. Anyway, so that's a different thing for me to be like, oh, okay, you know, like we actually just spent our time talking, instead of boning, which is fine, kind of. I mean, I could, you know, anyway, I don't know, I'm not being any more coherent, but I just wanted to say that a lot of the reasons why I find being in a relationship weird. I mean, number two is like, I'm 34, so it's weird for me to talk about my boyfriend. I just kind of call him my person or whatever. And a lot of it just comes with, I don't know how it's supposed to be, you know, because in the past, I've not really had somebody who was so excited and so proud to be with me, and to kind of like not claim me in a possessive way, but be like, oh, here's my person. And so, yeah, I am gonna try not to overthink the whole situation because I get so worked up and then so upset about it. And then the second I see him, I'm like, oh, okay, this is fine. Like, this is probably the most comfortable that I felt with somebody in a long time. You know, I feel like we could just hang out and it's not weird. I'm not overly anxious when I'm with him. So that's great. Anyway, so that's that story, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I need to get better at being in a relationship, number one, and then I need to get much better at talking about it. But there's just a couple more things. I hope that you all are having a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.